Hello students. So today we are going to do the lab experiment of our circuit theory lab because now it has got online. So we will be performing this experiment online, and the experiment is to verify the maximum power transfer theorem. You all know that for maximum power to be transferred to your load resistance, you require your RS to be equal to RL. So what we are going to do is we are going to have three sets of source resistance. Firstly, we are going to take 100 ohms, and then we are going to vary our RL in 5 values. That is, first we are going to take 50, then we are going to take the value of the voltage, corresponding current, and then total power. Similarly, for 80, we are going to repeat it for 100, 120, and 200. Then we are going to plot the value of our power on the vertical axis and the value of resistance on the horizontal axis. Like this will be 50, then 80, then 100, and so on. And the power curve will come like this. The maximum power you are going to get when your RS will be equal to RL. And this is what we have to verify for our maximum power transfer theorem. So for verifying our maximum power transfer theorem, the software that I am going to use is Tinkercad. You all can very easily go on to Tinkercad app and you can perform the various experiments. So let's start with the tinkering. So before I start the experiment, I would like to tell you about something about the breadboard. For breadboard, all these alphabetically vertical lines, these all are interconnected with one another. That means that if I am going to take this resistance and I am going to put it here somewhere. So here, if I am going to rotate it and I am going to place both of its terminal in the same line and I am going to give it the voltage at this, then it is going to get shorted because both the terminals will be shorted because these all are interconnected. You can see like this. While the terminals whole line E, it is not connected. Similarly, D line is not connected. So you can see from here the numerals. So A, B, C, D, E, it is all connected. Like you can also take it like that one is interconnected, two hole is interconnected. But when we talk about your this row hole, E1, E to E, it is not connected. So we have to make the connections in such a manner that no two terminals of the same element come in here. So if like we have to go for the parallel combination, let me rotate it so that I can just tell you the series and parallel. So if you want two resistances to be in parallel, then you can always, you can take this resistance and you can put like this. So both starting and ending are both at the same way. So that means they both are in parallel. So if you have to go for the series connection of the resistances, then at the end of the first resistance, you have to put the start of the other resistance. So they are going to come in series if you are going to make the connection like this. So because now we are going to go for the circuit of RS and RL of the Thevenin circuit, so I am just going to put them back where they were. And then I need to calculate the value of RL for calculating at which point the value of power is coming out to be maximum. Let's say for this particular case, I have taken the very first value of RS as 100 ohms. So now I am going to vary the value of this RL resistor. So I will be starting with 50 and I will be noting down the value of voltage as well as current and the corresponding power. So here you must know one thing, that when you have to measure the current, it should flow through the circuit. through the line whose current is to be measured. So here I have just disconnected these two resistors. Otherwise it should have been here at this terminal to get connected, but I am connecting these two resistors through this multimeter, right? So I have put it in the amperes mode, and now I am going to make the connections of the battery. So here to its this terminal, when I'm going to connect it to this F point, it is going to connect till J. And similarly, I'm going to connect it to the 10th row. So it is going to connect till there. So now when I'm going to simulate it, I'm going to get the value of our current here. So you should all note that when the value of this resistance is 50 ohm, the current that is coming is 59.4 milliamperes. Just keep on noting it in your notebooks. So now I am going to, because let these connections remain as such and only vary the value of this resistance. So just note it down there. Now I am going to change the value of this 50, make it 80. So again, you have to note down the value of current that is coming out to be 49.6. Don't worry about the negative sign. It is because of the connections here. So if you want, we can just change the connections to make it positive. So I have to stop the simulation and I have to change the connections here. So here just so again, I have made it in the wrong time. So just so now it will be positive. So here you go with this, and now this connection is giving me the positive value of the current. So now note down 49.6 against 80 ohms resistor. So now I'm going to change it to 100 ohms. So now again, just check out the value. It is 44.7 ohms coming, milliamperes coming. So now change it to 120, or you can say 150, you can write. So now the value that is coming is 35.8. So just note down the value of the current here. So similarly, last value of the resistance is to be taken as 200. So just check the corresponding current, and that is 29.9 milliamperes. So now I am going to change the connections and I am going to note down the voltage across these resistances. So I have made them in series because now I have to measure the voltage across over this load resistance. So I will be just taking out the connection from here and I will be just putting the connection here. And I will be switching my this multimeter into my voltage. So now I have to start the simulation again. So now this connection is to be changed. That is why it is coming out to be 0. So from here, you have to put it to the last terminal. That is the 9th one. It was in the 10. So that is why the value was coming out to be 0. So here you go. The value of the resistance here I have taken is 200 ohms. So just write down 5.97 against 200 ohms. Then change the value of 200. Make it equal to 150. And the answer is 5.37 for your 150 ohms. So next you go for your 100 ohms. Note down the value, it is 4.47 volts. Then change again the value. So keep on doing like this for all the value sets. So it is 80 ohms. So the answer is 3.97. And lastly, just make the value as 50. So now we will be tabulating all the values in our whiteboard. So the answer is 2.97. So let's get back to our whiteboard and write down all the values. So now I have tabulated all the values that we just got in Tinkercad, and I have noted down against voltages and currents. Minded, the current that we got was all coming in milliamperes. So I have just noted here the milliamperes and I have written only the numerical values here. So now you all know that power is equals to voltage into currents. So I have just calculated the value of multiplying voltage and current, and I have got all the values of power in milliwatts. So here is the answer. And now what you are going to do is you are going to make a graph of all the values that you have got. I will just let you know that how you are going to draw it. So here you are on the vertical axis, you are going to mention the value of power. You all have to go by 20-20 divisions. So like here you are going to go for this, let's say is, let me mark for 20 each only. So let me draw it on this side. So here it will be your 20 ohms, 40 ohms, 60 ohms, 80 ohms, 100, 120, 140, and so on, 160, 180, and 200. So I will just mark it like this. So here it will be 200. This all will be in your ohm. You will be writing here the value of RL. And here you are going to mention that it is your power in milliwatts. So you will be starting with like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. So now you have to mark all the values against the RLs. So like you have got your 50 at this point. So this is your 50, and corresponding to 50 you have 176. So that will come somewhere like here. So this is your first point. Then corresponding to 80 you have got 197. So 197 will be somewhere like here. Then you have got 200 at 100. So that comes out to be here. Then you have got 192 corresponding to your 150. So 150 comes somewhere here, and 192 will be like here. So last it is your 179. So again 179 will come somewhere like here. So now you are going to join all these points, and then you are going to see that the maximum power that you have got, because I have taken the less divisions here, so you can just take the divisions of 20 each like we did here. So you can start from 20 onwards. So the graph will be somewhat like this. It will be more steeper. So what you are going to see is that you have got the maximum power corresponding to your 100, and here you are going to write P maximum, where your RS is coming equal to RL. So this is how you have to draw the graph. So now we come back to your this experiment. As I just did for your 100 ohms, you are going to repeat the same observation set. All this observation table you are going to repeat when RS value is 500. So for 500 ohms, you are going to take the value of RL from like 300. So take 300, then 400, then 500, 550 you can take, and then 600. Just take like this. So similarly, you can go for the value of 1 kilo ohm. For 1 kilo ohm, again, you can start with 900, 950, 1K, then 1050 and 1100. So you can vary all these 5 set of resistances in your Tinkercad, and you are going to observe the same graph pattern that we have just done for your 100 ohm resistance. So you all have to do this in your practical lab of your tinkering, And then you can verify that maximum power transfer theorem has been verified for the different set of values of the source resistance. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.